Well, here we are then, probably the most difficult track that I've ever done on the channel because it involves picking and using your fingers to pluck all different strings all at the same time. We've got a special fuzz pedal involved in this track, and also we're in an unusual tuning, so there's plenty to go through here. Thanks for landing on this, one of the singles from Myles Kennedy's album The Art of Letting Go, which I think is so cool. Beyond the Veil is an awesome track, but this one is the one that does it for me. I think it's the lead single as well. It's called Say What You Will. I'll run you through the settings that you need. I'll run you through how the fuzz or the Argo Mythos pedal works. And I'll start off by talking you through the tuning that we need to get this one out of the gate. So this guitar is usually my drop D tuning guitar. So it's normally standard tuning, and then you take the bottom note down a tone to a D. This track, imagine that tuning, but you take everything down again, all the strings down again, a semitone. So you can call it drop C sharp or drop D flat if you really want to. That bottom note then is a C sharp, D flat. And then you've got the power chord. Those bottom three strings that the drop D essentially gives you. And then the other strings are standard tuning from there, but a semitone down. You'll get the picture. I've got this Argo pedal that I've heard Myles Kennedy mention in videos. He says he uses it on this track. I've been wanting a fuzz pedal and an octave fuzz for quite a while. Anyway, just to add into the kind of palette of colours that you've got available. So I've added that into my signal chain on the pedal board. You can see how I did that in this video up here. And also the settings I'll put as a screenshot over now so that you know what you're aiming for. I'll turn it on and you'll get a flavour of the sound. It's very organ-like, I'm going to say, Deep Purple-esque. Okay, the intro section then is extremely tough, probably the most hard part of the piece. Let's take it in two sections. The first section is the bottom repeating bass note, which is all down picks. So all the plectrum picks are downwards. You've got distortion on, and you've got the Argo fuzz pedal switched on as well. Okay, this is how it sounds on the album. I'm just going to play the bottom note. So you're on the 4th fret, and then you're leaving that first finger down, and you're doing all down picks. So it's very straightforward. Why it gets difficult is because you've got to keep that down picking motion going while you're also using your second finger, which is denoted as M. I'm not swearing at you or anything. And you've got to pick a second line, which goes like this. And then you've got... so it's hard to play them individually. It's even more difficult to play them together, but I'm going to show you now the best way to do that. So the pick directions, the up, up, down, up that are on the tab, represents the direction you should be moving your fingers in on the right hand. So the plectrum is all down, and then this second upper line, it uses those directions. So you're getting the idea now. It's downs with an up pick on that little finger. So this is where it's complicated. You raise your 4th finger to that 7th fret and you pull your finger towards you, the M, and then you stroke it down for this double 4th fret here, then up again, and then you move everything on the opens, then you're back to these doubled second fret. Then there's an extra string in here, so use your second and third fingers on your right hand. So you're getting the picture here, and then you're doing this shape here for this next section. And then back. When you land on this B7 chord here, in bar 3, calling it a B7 because we're in, that would be if it was in standard tuning, it'd be a B7, but of course it's a B flat 7, but anyway, you just play the bottom 2 notes, but you hover this third finger in position, ready for the next sequence, which is... So, that comes round twice, which is even more difficult, so let me run you through it again, just a little bit more explanation. So, pick it with these upper lines going on using your fingers there, and use the directions that are above that line. So, up with the finger, another up, and a down, and then an up, downs, and then up, and then you're doing 2 fingers here, and the A's you can see denote the third finger, so you're doing this essentially before you move back, and while that's happening you're doing the bottom pick. So do you see just how complicated this whole riff is? I think it's one of the toughest that we've ever tackled on this channel. Let's play it through then now, seeing as we've hopefully had some time to practice and master it. Don't forget that you let this upper note ring. So you're going to turn your Fuzz Argo pedal off, however you like to get your fuzz sound, and this is quite fast paced actually, so it's quite easy in a way though. So you've got 3 of these, then up to the 5th fret, but when you do that you go slide into that 4th, and you're using the first finger for all of this. And you're coming up to this double third fingers. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then back again. And then you're going into the first solo here, which is a dead pick and the... So it's like a dead pick, slide to the 11th, and then Myles Kennedy actually picks that 10th fret with a second finger. So you've got double bend after that. Then the vibrato comes on the second bend and it's delayed. Then it slides down. And then up to the 15th. And you do a full bend on that. Then the 13th fret, bend it away from you by the way. Tiniest of slides in. Nice wide vibrato. And then what you hear on the album is simply like that. If you watch Myles Kennedy play it live, which I have, he also does a little bit of kind of dead notes under, which is quite cool. If you want to do that with a little vibrato on under. and then we're back to verse 1, which we're just going to carry on with because it's quite similar to what we've done, but there's a little bit less picking actually. You just hold on to that. And at the end of that time, you do a slight bend, so... And then you go... And then... Like I say, the bracketed notes are just options for the live performance. Then you've got this. Slide up to the 9th fret. You can use the first finger here with the vibrato. And then you get... Same again. And then this is the chord. Really cool. And then you go on to the chorus, the main chorus 1. When Myles Kennedy plays this live, he simply does this shape of chord. But on the album, it sounds a little bit different to that, and I think it's very important if you're playing this along with the album that you throw in the A-shaped chord here. So it's more like... So let's talk this through then. So third fingers will be used for this bar if you're playing along with the album version, and you're going to play, and then an A, open, then a B. Myles Kennedy does it with the thumb over so it protects the bottom string from sounding. Then you kind of hear this. And that's chorus 1, followed by verse 2. So the Argo goes off next. You hear a note in the top, by the way, which we'll come on to later. But let's just go through verse 2, which we've had, very similar to verse 1. So that's really cool. The main difference is the turnaround, which you get the A, then double fourths, and then drop it, and then you're on to this break section, which we're going to tackle in a different video. But just to quickly mention that F sharp note here at the start of verse 2, you don't need to play that because you can't do both. But as long as it's there anyway. It's a little bit of vibrato. So next up is the break section, and you really need to have a setting on your chorus pedal which has a very, very fast repeat sound. You can achieve that effect with digital delays and stuff and settings on the chorus. I'm just going to use my regular chorus sound because it's not really a sound I ever use. I mean, it's like, you'd hear it like... It sounds a little bit like that on the album, but I'm just going to play the notes that Myles Kennedy plays with my chorus on. So you get... And then up to this 6th fret here. And then you get this. And then that's that. So you turn that off and then you put your fat Argo pedal, fuzz pedal back on, which is the really kind of turnaround that's really cool here. And you get... So that's chorus 2, following the break. And then we have the start of the solo section here. And then you get... something along those lines with the solo, but just quickly to run through that pre-solo section again, bar 57, you get these power chords. Myles Kennedy actually uses the thumb again to kind of mute the bottom string. This is cool. Before you get into... So you're just on distortion, there's no Argo fuzz or anything like that, it's just kind of standard distortion. And it starts off with this awesome bend. It's a 3/4 bend. Then you repeat, but you're using your M finger, which is this second finger. And you go. And then the next pattern is really cool, so it sounds like this slowly. That up pick's quite important, so. And then it's down, up, pull off, up pick, and then pull off. Pull off there, up for the 4th. 3 pull offs there. 3rd finger, and then you just do the weird fingering here. And over with the 1st. So that's the first pattern anyway. Then the next one is super difficult. You're sliding up on the 14th. So the reason that you use the second finger at the beginning of the shape, it's like an extra quick way of getting that pick in. And that's the 4th finger. And then this is super quick pull off. You almost can't hear it. And then half bend. 4th finger. And then bend. I bend this one towards you, by the way, with the 2nd finger and a down pick. The intro returns here, but obviously you can't do that note and also play the intro riff again. So what I would recommend doing is going and then dropping back in bar, just at the end of bar 75. Now while that's happening, you want to press your Argo pedal on. I'm going to play the return from bar 73, although you're going to drop in, like I've mentioned before, at the end of bar 75. But this is just from bar 73, as if I could play both at the same time. Don't forget that doubling of the 4th frets. I couldn't notate it because, of course, I had the held note above, but it does have both. Keep these picks going. Instead, of course, this time at the end you go no vibrato, and when you're sliding up those 4th notes, by the way, you're picking and using your 2nd finger. Into chorus 3, we're going to carry on with chorus 3. I've notated it in the live way, but we'll do it in the album way as we've discussed before, so... Then we're into the outro section. So the Argo goes off, we're up high, and we're going to do it like this. And then 16th. And then we're dropping down. And then you get... Same again. And then 19th. And then you're ending on that 19th across. While underneath you get the return to the verse shape. Coolest lick ever. And then we're on to the very last outro section here, which is that happens, but you also drop back into. You really just want to focus on bending the bottom string mostly, because the other note doesn't sound so good when you bend it. It needs to go higher. So really just do it like this. And then same again. And you got this cool. Or in the live version he goes. And slides down with the first finger. Very, very cool track. Really cool solo, which is very tough. And the use of an Argo fuzz pedal, which I never imagined myself having. But there we go, we've got it. That's the end of this Myles Kennedy Say What You Will lesson. I hope you've enjoyed the way we've tackled it, and also some of the things that we've learnt from doing the picking and the finger picking at the same time, which I've never really come across much. Anyway, I'll get better. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe if you want more Myles Kennedy. Comments always welcome below, and we'll see you in another video.